John Locke, a man whose ideas continue to echo through the corridors of time, shaping the world as we know it today. Born into a world of monarchies and divine rights, Locke dared to envision a different kind of society. His philosophy laid the groundwork for the Enlightenment, sparking a flame that lit the way for modern democracy and liberalism. Locke's key philosophical ideas have become cornerstones of political thought. The social contract, the idea that governments are formed through a mutual agreement between people and their rulers. Then there's the right to life, liberty, and property, a trinity of rights that each individual is entitled to. And let's not forget government by consent. Locke's belief that the legitimacy of a government rests on the consent of those it governs. Locke's ideas, revolutionary in his time, are now pillars of our modern democracies. But how do Locke's ideas play out in the world beyond the realm of philosophy? Let's rewind to the 18th century when Locke's thoughts sparked a wave of change. They fueled the revolutionary fires of the American and French revolutions, challenging the old order and paving the way for new democratic ideals. The very foundation of America, the Constitution, is steeped in Locke's philosophy, bearing the unmistakable imprint of his ideas on life, liberty, and property. The founding fathers, particularly Thomas Jefferson and James Madison, found in Locke a source of inspiration, reflecting his principles in the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights. It was Locke's belief in the inherent freedom and equality of individuals that shaped the democratic ethos of these new nations. His once radical philosophy became the guiding light for society's yearning for freedom and justice. Locke's philosophy, once radical, became the bedrock for nations and inspired revolutions. Yet, despite his profound influence, Locke's philosophy was not without its criticisms and limitations. His ideas were criticized for being Eurocentric, privileging Western conceptions of reason and progress. Locke's philosophy, largely formulated in the context of 17th century England, often failed to account for the diverse experiences and perspectives of non-European cultures, leading to a narrow vision of human progress and enlightenment. Moreover, Locke's philosophy has been critiqued for its inadequate handling of issues of race and gender. He lived in an era when slavery was prevalent and women's rights were largely unacknowledged. His writings, while advocating for individual rights and liberties, did not fully extend these principles to all groups. This oversight is a significant limitation of his philosophy. Yet it's important to note that later thinkers have addressed these limitations. Feminist philosophers have expanded upon Locke's ideas, arguing for the inclusion of women's rights within the framework of individual liberties. Similarly, post-colonial theorists have critiqued and adapted Locke's ideas, calling for a more inclusive understanding of reason and progress that acknowledges the experiences and contributions of non-European cultures. In the realm of race, subsequent philosophers have grappled with Locke's silence on the matter, infusing his philosophy with a more robust consideration of racial equality. They have sought to realize the promise of Locke's philosophy by extending its commitment to individual rights and liberties to all, regardless of race or gender. Locke's philosophy, while monumental, is not without its flaws, reminding us that no philosophy is absolute or unassailable. As we navigate the challenges of the 21st century, how can we draw upon Locke's legacy? Good question. John Locke's ideas, despite being centuries old, still permeate our world today. They underpin our political discourse and are invoked to support a wide range of political positions. Take libertarianism, for instance, which extols the virtues of individual freedom and limited government. Locke's emphasis on natural rights and the social contract is foundational to this ideology. Similarly, classical liberalism, with its focus on the rights of the individual, economic freedom, and the rule of law, has its roots firmly planted in Locke's philosophy. But Locke's ideas are not confined to these ideologies. They also echo in the hallways of social democracy, which advocates for political and economic equality within the framework of a capitalist economy. Here, Locke's belief in the equality of all individuals and his insistence on the government's role in protecting these rights find a home. And let's not forget human rights. Locke's concept of life, liberty, and property has been expanded and reinterpreted over the years to form the basis of our contemporary understanding of human rights. In navigating the challenges of our time, from social inequality to climate change, Locke's ideas can offer guidance. They remind us of the value of individual rights, the role of government, and the power of reason. Locke's ideas continue to shape our world, challenging us to reflect on the principles that guide our societies and our lives.